Welcome back, rum fans. In this video, I'm going to do a blind tasting of 7 of what I would call my favourite longer aged sipping rums. I'm basically want to find out if Plantation XO is still going to be my favourite. Now, about 8 weeks ago, I filmed a video which was a blind tasting of 6, I think it was, 12-year-old rums. Rums that actually said 12-year-old on the bottle. Again, as I say, it was a blind tasting. And these two came out as my top picks from that. And I'll link to that video in the description below. But what I said at the end of that video is that it would be really interesting to put these two up against what I would naturally perceive to be my favourite sippers from that shelf up there. So in this video, I'm doing exactly that. I've picked my 2 favourites from that 12-year-old video, and I'm going to put them up against 5 others that I would naturally grab and think, yeah, I really like them. Now, if you've been following me for a while, I've really got into blind tastings because it gets rid of all your perceptions. And I think actually, if you want to fine tune your palate, it is an exceptional way of doing that really quickly because you've got nothing else to go on except for what you're tasting and what you're smelling. Now, before I dive into this blind tasting, it's just fair to show you the runners and riders. These are what I would pick out. Notice there's no Appleton 12. What else have I? Worthy Park Estate on there. I haven't even put the Don Q. The Don Q up there. That's the cognac cask. And I didn't think that would be fair because actually for me, I can pick that cognac because I love cognac. I can pick the cognac on there. Now, yes, I know the Plantation XO has been finished in cognac casks as well, but that is not as cognac forward as something like that. But I know for many of you, the Appleton 12 would be in here, but as I say, you know, the Dictador for me and the Dorado 12 beat it hands down in that previous blind tasting. And the only reason if I can get it here for you, the only reason the Worthy Park is not in there as well is because yes, I love this, but it is a younger rum. The same as the Chairman's Forgotten Casks. They are younger rums. I'd be able to pick that as Jamaican on there as well because it's got a nice sort of element of funk on there. But I wanted to keep this as close to 12-year-olds for a comparison as I possibly could. So these have all been poured in glasses numbered 1 to 7. It goes in that way. There's no reason why they're in that order. It's just the order I've pulled them off the back of the shelf and poured. So number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've all been jumbled up. They're all sitting at the end of the bar here. I've got no idea which one's which. So I'm just going to work through them one by one. So the first one, real deep, rich, soft fruit coming off there. There's a distinguished sort of nose on the finish as well. Like you do not mistake that for a longer aged rum. Smells quite rich, quite a little bit of sort of tropical fruit, not too much, but kind of more, you know, those sort of soft fruitcake fruits, you know, like sultanas and dates and raisins and all that kind of stuff. My smelling this, look, these are, I was going to say, look, it's inviting me in. These were what I would naturally call my favourite rums, sipping rums behind the bar. So yes, this is drawing me in. Of course it is. Tasting that is beautiful. That is really, really nice. Actually, I want to get a sort of pineapple, like if you crunch down on a pineapple, you get a zingy bit of sort of tropical fruit in that, but you do get a lovely kind of rich fruit off there. There's an element of sort of caramel that's coming off that. It's very well put together. Really, really like that. This is the clever thing with this. In your mouth, you really do get that sort of peppery bite, but on the finish, like from the longer age, but in the finish, that very quickly dissipates. That is a fantastic rum. No questions about drinking that even every night. I really like that. That's this is gonna be a tough one. This is really gonna be tough. Right, another one at random. So this is gonna be the second one tasting. Slightly more muted on the aroma. Actually, what I would there's nothing really jumping out here on the aroma, but what I would pick off of this is a kind of a longer aged rum. What I would the first one was quite distinguishable, if you know what I mean. It's kind of got a style. And for me in there is probably one of 3 rums that could be. This one actually kind of, again, this would be one of 2 or maybe 3 rums that I would kind of go from here. But it does kind of give me like loose Barbados vibes. And that's the only way I can kind of put it off there. There's a little bit of tropical fruit. There's nothing too pronounced. It's just rum, if that makes sense to it. So, right, let's have a little taste. That's delicious. Very different to the first one. More chocolatey, more caramelly, more vanilla-y. Lovely rounded, lovely finish to that. I would say, like, even the mouthfeel is very different. It's like creamy, kind of voluptuous, silky, smooth, not sweet and smooth, just kind of really, really well blended, really well put together. There is an element of spice on that, not too heavily spiced. Again, I want to emphasize, you know, I keep saying I do not like longer aged rums. I don't get them. So for these, for me, are the ones that are longer aged but don't give you like really heavy wood burn that comes off them. This is very, very approachable. I would personally just go for that one, just very, very slightly. But again, on a different day, I'd probably go this one. It's just, I think I love the fruitier vibes off the first one more than this one. But that's really good. Right, let's go for the third one now. Random order here. So off this one. Oh, this is much, much lighter on the aroma. There is a woody kind of vibe coming off that, but actually, banana-y kind of vibe. I mean, it's definitely vanilla. It's definitely dried fruit on there, but there is this, you know, you kind of, once you do this, you kind of take those aromas for granted. If you're on longer aged rums and you're not getting vanilla, you're not getting caramel, you're not getting like woody spice, there's something a little bit wrong, or they're massively sweetened to take away those aromas, because that is inherently what you get from straight down the line oak barrels, if you like, or ex-bourbon barrels, which predominantly most of these are. But it's those little touches of nuance that come out. And this one, you know, for me, the nuance in this is kind of banana. I think if you persevere with this one, you also get a little touch of chocolate, a little touch of coffee, but this does smell like a lighter style of rum. So, right. And if you were watching that closely, yes, I did have a little bit spill out, come out, flying out of the glass and onto my shirt there, as I was doing a little swell. That's really delicious. I like that. Yes, I get banana foam sweets. There is a little bit of spice in there, but not too much. This doesn't take aging too far. There's, you know, there is those stereotypical, there's that vanilla, there's that caramel coming off there. I'm looking for the little nuances. There's not, I wouldn't say there's chocolate or anything like that, but there is this banana, there is just tropical fruit that comes off this. Not as juicy as, like the first one was very juicy tropical fruit. This one, there is tropical fruit, but very different. This one has got a lovely, I don't want to use this word because it will get mistaken, but this one has got a lovely kind of sweetness to it, but it's not a sweet, you know, it's not a sweet rum. There's nothing cloying around there. There's like, if you were tasting that, I would, most people that have been around rum would taste that and think that has not been dosed, because you can just feel it on your teeth and your tongue. But it has got a lovely sweetness to it, and I kind of want to make that distinguishment. That's really nice. I'm still preferring that first one because that really does give me proper lovely juicy fruit, but I think I would put this one, I'm just going to leave it and do that at the moment. So this is going to confuse me because I'm going to forget which order I tasted these in, but that's definitely the benchmark. That's second, and this one's third so far. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's the right or wrong thing to do, but yeah, that's delicious. So that in the moment, that's my second place. Right, a quick bit of water before we dive into the fourth one. So, oh, this one's very different. This is the polar opposites of fruit to what you'd expect. So definitely nothing like my first place and my second place there. Putting those stereotypical caramel, vanilla, woody kind of vibes to one side, the top notes that I'm getting off here are more coffee. There's a nutty, coffee, and there's a nuttiness to it as well. I think the more you bear with it as well, there's this honeyed there's this kind of, like, in my head now, and again, I don't know whether this relates, I think I've said this a couple of times, I don't know whether this relates to the US market, but a crunchy bar, you've got a honeycomb in the middle wrapped in chocolate. So I've got this, you know, obviously I'm picking out honey and I'm picking out chocolate, but what that reminds me of is like the crunchy bar that we get here in the UK. Now this is flipping lovely. No, I dare say this has been dosed. It's got a little bit of additives in it. If those three haven't got additives, then I would imagine they're not. This is the first one out of the four that's kind of coating my teeth a little bit, but it's not overly sweet. It's a lovely, and that, you know, I've got nothing against additives. I've got nothing against that. If that makes your rum taste better, fair play. What I have got is like excessive, or against it, is excessively sweet stuff. This is nowhere near excessively sweet. This is lovely. This is, now that's finishing, there's like, it's definitely coffee coming off there, definitely kind of chocolate that's coming off there. Do you know what? I really do think that the aromas match the taste, because there is this nuttiness off there as well. I like this for very different reasons that I like the first one. But this is, you know, they're like chalk and cheese. That is fruit forward. This is chocolate, coffee, well, coffee, chocolate, mocha. Let's just go mocha. This is mocha forward. But it's a little bit sweeter. Just, you know, not massively, but it is a little bit sweeter. I think, because I enjoyed it, I think I have to put that, in second place. I have no hesitations with that at all. As I say, I'm not against the sweetness. I think that's going straight into my second place. I just think I prefer the fruity vibes from the first one just slightly more. Right, next one at random. This is going to be the fifth one. Oh, this is nice. This is lighter. This is tropical fruits. Whoa. There's pineapple, there's coconut, there's even banana coming off that as well. I really like that. Yes, there's this vanilla, there's this slight woodiness or spiciness that's coming off this as well. But it is tropical fruit forward. So the first one, I remember that the first one, it was like, once you tasted it was tropical fruit, but on the aroma it was kind of, there was a little bit of tropical fruit there, but more sort of like Christmas cake fruit, dried fruit. This one is definitely tropical fruit forward on the aroma. Now in the taste, that is lovely. That is dosed. I've got a rough idea what that is. I'm going to hold off. I think I know what this is. I would say that is, it kind of gives me the mouthfeel that it's sweeter than the I think the fourth one I tested, which was that one. See, I told you that was a bad idea, putting these in order straight away. I think that one. I would say this is like a little bit more cloying over the teeth. It does kind of stick to your teeth a little bit, but what that does deliver is flavour, is fun flavour. Pineapple, tropical fruits, coconut. I get a banana. I lose the banana actually. The banana on the nose, not banana on the taste. Yes, as I keep saying, you get that vanilla, you get that caramelness, but that's lovely. This is intriguing now. I think like the first one gives you a more intense pineapple kind of vibe, but only minuscule. You know, it's kind of, it's there and it's gone sort of thing. Whereas this is kind of a muted pineapple, but it's there. It is tropical fruit. I think this is Plantation XO. It's too familiar, if you like. That is flipping delicious though. I really do like that. But because of do you know what? I have to be honest here. I really do. I think it goes in third place. I think I'm preferring those two. I have to be honest. It can't just be nostalgia. I think I would grab those first two purely because they're not kind of as sweet as what this is, and it is that, you know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but it does kind of coat my teeth just a little bit. But that is flipping delicious. That is fun. That is easy going. That is accessible. It has to be Plantation XO. There was nothing else there that I would put remotely close to that, I don't think. So I massively understand why that's such a big seller, because that is just inoffensive, really easy to drink. You're going to be truly happy for that. But I think for me, after this, I would actually put those two for very different reasons above that one. So I think that for me is going in third place. Right, just had a little rearrange. It's still there, but that's my fifth place. I've moved it from there to there just so I've got a bit of room. So we're going for the sixth one now. Right. Again, the aroma on this, again, is very right. Nutty straight away. Nutty carameliness coming off there. Do you know what? This is the first one as well that I kind of do get this, like, not nail polish, nail varnish or anything like that, but there is this sort of slight nod. We started classifying it like this about a year ago, but acetone, that kind of thing, and nail polish remover, that sort of thing. There was a slight hint of that coming off there. This is definitely not fruity, but it's, and yes, again, you've got the vanilla, you've got this sort of caramel, you've got the woody fine kind of thing there. But you know, this nutty. I can't get past that now. There is this nutty acetone to it, but very different on the taste. Wow, that's good. I like that. Oh, I like that a lot. Again, it's got this, right, I kind of need to make this distinguishment again. This has got this sweetness and body to it without being cloying, without gripping your teeth. This may or may not have stuff added to it, but it doesn't give me the impression that it does. That is absolutely... Oh, tobacco's coming off there now. There's a bit of dry fruit. There's a bit of, you know... this is lovely. I like this. This is definitely a lighter rum, but it has got body... Well, that's a contradiction. It's a lighter rum, but it's got body to it. If I was going to have a stab, I would say that's a column still rum. And that's, I'm not sure I've had that this sort of lightness before, but it has got body. Look, getting past vanilla, caramel and all that, what else is coming out? There is tobacco definitely coming off that. And again, that kind of gives me sort of a little bit of what this potentially could be through experience. But there is this dried fruit. That is really, really nice. That's a toss-up now because that is... Right, the downside to this is that sort of acetone aroma, but the upside is you do not taste that at all. This is flipping delicious. I'm really torn on this one. This is... I love my fruit, but for some unknown reason, I just want to keep coming back and sipping this. And that's the first one that I've... Oh, yeah, a little bit more. That's the first one so far that I've really, really done that. I'm going to sit it there at this precise moment. Because I don't know how... I think I'm going to have to come back to those two. Actually, those three, because remember, I've got that chocolatey kind of vibe going off there. I'm going to have to... I think I definitely prefer that one over that one, what I put in first and second. But I kind of need to draw another opinion from those. Right, and then the final one, number 7. Ooh. Oh, tropical, lighter. Wow, loads of stuff going on here. Lighter vibes. Definitely tropical fruit vibes. This is crazy because that's going tropical fruit. I'm also getting coconut, but then I get sort of chocolate off that as well. Don't really get the nod to longer barrel aging off it, but I do get like vanilla-y caramel. You know, you smell that and you think, yes, this is probably a longer aged rum. But what I do not get off that is that woody spice. It's very much tropical fruit forward for me. That is so delicious. Oh, I like that a lot. Easy going. I'm going to distinguish this now. This is up my street. For real rum connoisseurs, longer aged rum connoisseurs, I don't think it's up your street. It's not got that grippiness. It's not got the... This is probably the one with the least barrel spicing to it. You know, you get that peppery spice of longer aged oak. It's probably the one for the least for there, but that makes it one of my favorites. Oh, this is so approachable. This is really good. I get this honeyed tropical fruit, coconut. Yes, the vanilla's there. It's again, it's got this sweetness to it, but again, it's not coating my teeth like what I think the Plantation XO. I'm pretty sure. I've forgotten which one it is now. I think that one. It's not got that level of sweetness to it, but it has got a sweetness, if you like. It's not a teeth coating. It's not a fairy tongue kind of sweetness. That's an enjoyable neat sipper. Like a very not a treat neat sipper, but this is a nightly, every night. If you're one of those that likes something easy going most nights, this is definitely for you. Now I don't know where to sit this because right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these to one side. That's my least favourite. So out of 7th, that would be 7th. This would be number 6, and that'll be number 5, which leaves me with these 4 here. Now, I've had about 3 or 4 minutes here thinking about this, so you won't have seen that. Power of editing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in 4th place. But I want to caveat that is because that is probably the easygoing one that I would grab most nights. So for me, that wouldn't be the treat rum, if you know what I mean. That would be the easy, accessible. That is really, really tasty. And I'm just drinking that. That bottle is dangerous. I think that's how I've got to classify that. How can I put this in bed? It's so tasty. It doesn't excite me as much as those do, but these are a little bit harder work, if you like, and not necessarily what I would look for in a daily neat sipper. They are definitely my treats. I'm really enjoying those, whereas this is just the easy. I think that's hopefully you understand what I mean by that. Right. I've been playing and tasting with these. On camera, they were like that. So that was the recent. So that was my original first, and that was my original second. I'm keeping that one definitely as my first place. The bit that I'm struggling with is these two in the middle here. I think on a different day, they might be like that. I love the coffee chocolatey vibes coming off that, which is completely different off that. This, for me, has just got a touch of extra sweetness. I think these two are my treat rums. I really do. And I really love that. And I really, I love, dude, that's tough. That is really, really tough to separate that. But that is, if I can have a joint second, that'll be that. And then a third. But you're going to see it as 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. But in reality, 1st, you know, 2nd. That's it in reality. Right, so numbers up because I've completely forgotten what these were. I wrote them down on here. So let's just whiz through this. So what I put in last place, you know, these are all great. They are really great. But was number 3, which was Admiral Rodney. Rodders. Interesting. Okay. Nothing. I thought I had a. Well, I do. These are all great rums. I thought that might do a little bit better actually, but obviously not. This is why I love blind tastings. I keep saying that. So number 7, number 6 is number 6. I thought that might be upside down. And look like number 9. RL Seale. Okay. So Barbados. Interesting. There. Right, then we're going to number 4. Wow, that I think is that one. Yeah, that was. It was because it definitely wasn't. This is the one I thought was Plantation XO because it definitely wasn't in any of those. That's interesting. Now that's really, really interesting. So that's, you know, these are great. They are great rums, really good rums. But I think as my palate's evolving, you will see, loads of you have watched my videos from 3 years ago. Well, you know, you'll be massively seeing the differences now. So putting them to one side, let's run through this. As I say, do you know what? Fourth, that is an all day, every day. That's a great rum. It just was a little bit sweeter, a little bit there, but do you know what? On a different day, as I've said, you've seen what I've said about this. I really enjoyed this, but in fourth place is number 7, Santiago de Cuba. Wow. I do really like that. I do really like that. That's a good rum. So there we go. Right, third place. Number 2, Havana Seleccion de Maestros, or Cuban barrel proof. Let's call it that. Wow. So my top 2 are the 2 that won that 12-year-old video. So what if I... Well, that's got to be the Dictador then, surely. The chocolatey coffee vibes. Number 5. Dictador number 12. Coffee, chocolate, ow. And then El Dorado. Number 1, El Dorado. Wow. Wow. Right, here's a question for you guys before I finish this video. If you were going to rank these in order, how would you think you would have ranked them? Which one would have been your favourite? Which one have been your least favourite? I'm intrigued and all that. You know, these, as I say, these blind tastings really do open your eyes. Because if you asked me to pick one before this, it would have been the Plantation XO. Now, just before I sign off, there is another question for you guys as well. I've got a few more of these blind tastings in the bag, and nowhere, but I want to know, we're at the stage now, what would really help you? I do get a lot of things. Have you like, can you compare this to this? And I've already done videos about a lot of them. So a lot of comments I'm just replying to with video links that I've already done. But I still want to hear from you. What would help you comparison-wise, blind tasting-wise? And let me know in the comments, and then hopefully we can keep this series of blind tastings going. But if you haven't watched it yet, what I'm going to do is right up there is going to be that 12-year-old video where these two, you know what the results are. But if you want to see the other 12-year-olds and what I put in there, watch that video right there.